Today's topic is defense. With so many 2K players focusing on the offensive side of the ball, people often forget about the defense. While I will be playing a lot of offense in these clips, I want to expose why I got these points. Now I want to start this over. Let's get it. Alright, so this isn't for the people that are impatient. I really want to help somebody that wants help. So I want to start this over again and I want to tell you what I'm going to be doing. What I'm looking to do is expose why I know what is about to happen. So I'm going to start this over one more time and bear with me. Let's be patient, guys. Okay, so for this first clip, I knew he wasn't going to be able to guard me because he was running full speed down the court. So I went against his momentum. He was running towards the baseline, so I went the other side and I used his momentum against him. So now you'll see me start to be patient because they're trying to read and see what I'm about to do. But I'm not going to fully commit to shooting the ball because the freaking centers, all they want to do is send your shot into outer space. So I gave him the pump fake. And once I gave him the pump fake and he jumped, he's now useless. He showed his whole cards. Like he showed all his cards like poker. He exposed his hands. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And here we have my teammate in the corner for the wide open three. Cha-ching. Yes, sir. So here we have a big fella trying to guard me. He's already at a disadvantage because he's too slow. So I pull him out. I gave him the pullback, and he's trying to block my shot. Like I said, all they want to do is block his shot. So I gave him the pullback like I'm going to shoot. I made him jump. He's already slow. So once he's in the air, watch I go by him and do what I got to do. I got this quote from the late, great Michael Jordan. He said the defense is always at a disadvantage because they're always playing backwards. So right here, I'm trying to whoop. I'm going to shake him. So I have to get my defender off of me. Now I can see the floor. And you see the guy in the back on the left. He's going to start to commit to me. So you're going to see how I give that his man the ball. Watch this. I'm going to pass his man the ball once he steps up. Whoop. But he didn't want to shoot. Maybe he couldn't shoot. He gives it back to me. I'm like, all right, I'm about to see. And I see my man's cutting and the ball was playing too low. So I threw the ball in the air. How's he going to jump out of nowhere? You have to use reality in basketball. There was physically no way for him to magically jump in the air out of nowhere. He was already at a disadvantage. Like I said, he's playing backwards and my player on my team was playing forward. So he had momentum to jump in the air and get the alley-oop. Here's an actual clip of me playing defense. I take a lot of pride in my defense. There aren't a lot of defensive clips in here because I didn't have this video planned out beforehand. But just like in basketball, you got to learn to improvise. This one here is a little tricky because sometimes the 2K referees like to call foul. But you got to learn how to not super invade his space. My idea here was to use the sideline against him. He only has so many steps he can do before he steps out of bounds. But most offensive players in 2K don't really see what's going on. They just want to run past you and score. So I use that against him. Keep that in mind. So right here, I would like to call that dribble the momentum check dribble. You're checking the momentum of the defenders before you make your next move. Then once I take that dribble and I see the lane open up, I attack. And my defender is on my hip. He's already too small. And you see the big man, he's outside of the lane. So he's not going to be able to act in enough time. So I lay the ball up high. He won't be able to act on it. So you see here, my defender is having a hard time guarding me. But I learned this one from Michael Beasley. You don't really care about the first man because it's hard for anybody to guard anybody one-on-one. So once you beat him, now you got to scan the floor and see what everybody else is doing. Remember, the big men are way taller than you. So they're going to let you get that first step so they can block your shot at the rim. So you really have to set it up. Watch the big man on the right side. He's going to see me almost go to the rim and he's going to come out fast as hell. So I took that step back and watch, he's going to jump. Always remember the big men are slow because their center of gravity is messed up. So it seems like I have an open shot. But watch this. The other big man was plotting. He was plotting the whole time, so I still had to deal with him. But he was so hyped that I used that against him and he fouled me. I already had him beat, bro. It's a wrap. But you got to think, if somebody makes a big man, I'm not saying this is for everybody, but they just want to dominate. And it's like the little man syndrome when it's like a small dog and they just ready to attack anything. It's basically the same thing with big men. So you got to make sure you use them because if not, they're going to block your shot. I have a lot of clips with the big man blocking my shot because I didn't take advantage of their disadvantage. Like they're too slow. They have a bad center of gravity. You got to use that against them. Yo, man, my brother just said they like big trolls. So they just really can destroy you, but you cannot let the troll get you. we're going to end this video on the best defender in the world, the whole world. It is yourself. Look at this. I blew it. I guarded myself. My whole life, I have been the number one person who could stop me. It was never the other person on the other side of the ball. It was me not committing fully to my actions and following through and finishing the job. I could have easily just dropped it in, but I didn't focus up. Listen, defense is about beating the offender to his spot and cutting him off before he gains momentum on you. So you got to keep that in mind when the defender is guarding you. Okay? Defense is number one. It don't matter how terrible of a game you're playing. If you play defense, you'll eventually pick up on your offense. I get a lot of leak out points strictly from playing defense. I know that the team is at a disadvantage because of the defense I'm applying, if that makes sense. Like, listen, I'm going to try to break it down. I'm sending the ball a certain way while I'm playing defense, and I can read when they're getting frustrated. It sounds freaking senseless, but I've been playing basketball my whole life. So just know, like, when you're playing defense, you have to send the ball a certain way. You want to kind of know what's about to happen. You don't want to just be playing willy-nilly. Nah. Shout out to all the Wills out there because they're skilled too. But on defense and offense, you kind of want to predict the next move, but number one is instinct. But you don't want to just be running. I don't know. It's kind of a flow state, but at the same time, you don't want to just be running around. So just take everything with a grain of salt. And but you got to use the defender's momentum against him because without that, you're just gonna be running around stupid. You don't want to do that. So let's continue the ball. This how you hoop, fool. Welcome to 2K School. Subscribe, like, let's vibe. Listen, we're going to continue to drop gems. So if you listening, you must want to learn. So let's learn. Let's continue to, you know what I'm saying? Let's boop, 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 boop.